On August 15th, 1977, the Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope detected a radio signal from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, suggestive of an intelligent origin. What could have caused this signal, one wonders? Well, the answer is quite simple. Aliens. I have made it my mission to prove aliens exist. I believe aliens are real due to evidence of UFOs, eyewitness accounts from retired military personnel, and a planet that has the perfect conditions for extraterrestrial life. This is Aliens, Proof of Existence. UFOs. We've all heard of them. Flying saucer-looking things that fly down and abduct cows or unsuspecting teenagers. Well, what if I told you that they were real, and they've already been here? Back in 2017, what appeared to be an asteroid flew into our solar system at a high speed. Scientists named it Oumuamua and inspected it closely. It was much more complex than originally thought. According to a Harvard research paper, considering an artificial origin, one possibility is that Oumuamua is a light sail, floating in interstellar space as debris from an advanced technological equipment, suggesting that the object can be propelled by solar radiation. It's not an asteroid, so what is it? You know the answer. A UFO. Okay, so maybe you don't believe a Harvard research paper for some reason. Well, your fellow citizens have something to say. A 2023 report from the Office for the Director of National Intelligence found that there were 510 UFO sightings in 2022, higher than the 366 seen in 2021. Of these, 171 were considered to appear to have demonstrated unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities and require further analysis. That many UFO sightings and still no scientific answer? Seems unlikely that they were from this planet. To seal the deal, here's an eyewitness account from an ex-military official. According to Nick Pollock from Time.com, David Grush, a former U.S. intelligence official, testified before Congress, alleging that the U.S. government has been concealing a long-standing program focused on retrieving and reverse-engineering UFOs and has discovered non-human biologics at suspected crash sites. If this came from some average Joe off the street, you'd think nothing of it. But an ex-military individual? I mean, come on. If you thought that eyewitness was convincing, here's some more. According to Vanessa Romo at NPR News, a former Navy fighter pilot, Ryan Graves, recounted an encounter with an object off the coast of Virginia Beach, describing it as a dark gray or black cube inside a clear sphere that could remain stationary despite hurricane-force winds. Last time I checked, no normal airplane could withstand that type of wind, or is shaped like a sphere for that matter. You ever had a Tic Tac? You know, those little fruity mints that get stuck on the bottom of your car? Ever seen a giant one fly through the sky? Well, David Fravor did. According to Eliza Chasan at CBS News, a former Navy commander, Fravor testified about a 2004 incident, where he and other pilots saw a white Tic Tac-shaped object that accelerated to supersonic speeds and vanished, only to reappear miles away. Once again, no Tic Tac that I've ever seen could do that. The last account comes from a military pilot whose identity was not disclosed. Ashley Banfield from newsstation.com writes, "The pilot reports seeing a dark, football-sized object pass under the plane's wing around 2:30 p.m. on September 17, 2024, approximately 60 miles away. The incident, involving a Homeland Security flight, occurred at 20,000 feet and likely involved a drug interdiction mission. A third pilot? At this point, it can't be a coincidence." Cube, a Tic Tac, and a football. All these strangely shaped teleporting objects were spotted by ex-military individuals. Some argue that they may have been experimental aircraft being tested by the Army. If that were so, the pilots would have been informed. My last proof is K2-18b. So what the heck is that? Well, it's a planet. More specifically, a planet that is the perfect sanctuary for extraterrestrial life. But why exactly? Let me explain. One reason is the gases produced by the planet. Will Dunham at Reuters.com says, the two gases, dimethyl sulfide or DMS and dimethyl disulfide or DMDS, involved in Webb's observations of the planet and K2-18b, are generated on Earth by living organisms, primarily microbial life such as marine phytoplankton, algae. Dang, that sounded like something out of Breaking Bad. So there is indisputable proof that there is life on the planet, just microbial. Another reason is the resources found on the planet. According to Marcia Dunn at AP News, NASA's asteroid samples returned by the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft from the near-Earth asteroid Bennu contain the ingredients for life, including sodium-rich minerals, amino acids, nitrogen in the form of ammonia, and parts of genetic code. I'll make that a bit simpler. Imagine you found a kitchen with cracked eggs, spilled milk, and flour everywhere. You'd probably imagine someone was baking something. When NASA found the resources, it was proof that life had inevitably emerged here. The last reason I believe K2-18b has life is because of its resemblance to another planet. Ashley Strickland at CNN explains, K2-18b, located 124 light-years from Earth, could be a Hycean world, a potentially habitable planet entirely covered in liquid water, with a hydrogen-rich atmosphere. Remind you of anywhere? That's right, Earth. Both planets have had plenty of time to develop life. If Earth has life, K2 is bound to as well. Some argue that aliens are just a work of fiction.
But Edwin, aliens aren't real, they're made up.
Well, Walter White, aliens have only been so much as a concept for about 70 years. The evidence is growing every day, and soon enough, it'll be undeniable. Call me crazy if you will, but someday an alien will be like,
Dude, you were totally right. Anyway, how's your new house on K2-18b?
well, altogether, with UFO sightings, eyewitness accounts from ex-military individuals, and K2-18b showing promising signs of life, I hope I at least slightly nudged your opinions towards the truth. Whenever you look up at the stars, know that maybe something else is looking back down at you.